If you want proof that monopoly doesn't necessarily mean monotony, look no further than 1959 Topps baseball cards. After buying out archrival Bowman heading into the 1956 cardboard season, Topps was poised to do whatever they wanted to. And after a 1956 set that looked remarkably like the 1955 issue, collectors might have thought they were in for a steep dive into mediocrity. But instead, Topps unleashed an array of so many different looks over the next 25 years that they endeared themselves to generations of collectors. And the 1959 cards played their role in that continued ascent, offering a very 50s feeling porthole look after the clean-cut 1957s and the heavily painted-ish 1958s. Today, the 1959s are still super popular in the hobby, even though the selection of stellar rookies is small, just one really. Now for the rundown of the most valuable 1959 Topps baseball cards, as determined by PSA 7 values in the PSA Sports Market Report Price Guide. 1959 Topps Mickey Mantle, number 10. Surprise! Mickey Mantle sits at the top of a most valuable cards list in the 1950 set. Okay, if you've been breeding sometime in the last 60 years, this is no shocker at all. Still though, this is a great looking 50s feeling pasteboard that features a slightly amused, or at least contented, mantle, gazing out from the porthole in the card's red painted cardboard wall. Batting practice in the background makes the whole thing feel breezy and warm, like a place you definitely want to be. The price of admission? Around $1,750 in PSA 7. 1959 Topps Bob Gibson, number 514. You have to win one game with your life, or at least like the World Series on the line. Who do you send to the mound? It's a hot stove and a hot infield dirt conversation fans have had forever. For 50 years or more, one of the names that always ends up right near the top is St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Famer Bob Gibson. During his 17-year career, Gibson won more than 250 games with a 2.19 ERA, went 7-2 in 3 World Series play, and picked up 2 National League Cy Young and 1 MVP awards. He also left hundreds of batters questioning their career choices. This smiling 1959 Topps version of Gibson is his rookie card, and graded near-mint copies sell for close to $1,000. 1959 Topps Mickey Mantle All-Star, number 564. Pretty much any Mantle card will get a slot on a list like this, even if the card is not the main card in the set. This All-Star issue shows the Mick in a posed batting shot, surrounded by a blue field featuring the American League Eagle and Shield emblem. The whole thing adds even more color to an already colorful top set. This Mickey Mantle All-Star checks in around $300 in PSA 7. 1959 Topps Roberto Clemente, number 478. As 1959 dawned, Clemente was still a year away from really finding his groove offensively in the major leagues. Though stellar defense in right field was already helping boost his values in WAR and in visuals to the Pirates. This yellow splashed card features the Pirates logo to good effect and shows a young, fresh-faced legend just on the verge of letting the world know who he was. In PSA 7, the 59 Clemente is about $225. 1959 Topps Sandy Koufax, number 163. Like Clemente, Koufax wasn't yet the legend that he would one day become when this sunny, smiling 1959 Topps card first popped out of wax packs across the land. With 1960s just ahead, though, it wouldn't be long until Sandy embarked on one of the most dominating runs in Major League pitching history. Today, this card of the young Cooperstown-bound lefty is a $225 card in PSA 7. 1959 Topps Willie Mays, number 50. Willie Mays, on the other hand, was already a superstar who was in the discussion for the best player of the game as 1959 dawned. A National League MVP award, 51 home runs in 1955, and a couple of 30-30 seasons, and having still not reached her 28th birthday will do that for a fella. This is another sunny yellow card featuring a fairly serious-looking Mays, and it typically pulls in $200+ in graded near-mint condition. 1959 Topps Hank Aaron, number 380. Like Mays, Aaron was already an established superstar by 1959, with an MVP of his own and a World Series title in 1957 with the Milwaukee Braves to boot. Hammer's 1959 Topps is another sunny yellow bordered card featuring a focused young legend, and it's another $200 plus buy in PSA 7. 1959 Topps Roy Campanella, symbol of courage, number 550. Roy Campanella was one of the studs from those old Brooklyn Dodgers teams that seemed to make it to the World Series every year, only to fall short to the New York Yankees. Until 1955, that is, when them bums won it all, thanks in large to Campy's third MVP season in 5 seasons. Just a couple of years later, unfortunately, Campanella suffered catastrophic injuries in a car accident, which would leave him wheelchair-bound for the rest of his life. Regardless of his struggles, though, the Hall of Fame catcher maintained a cheerful public persona and became even more of an idol for fans everywhere. Topps commemorated Roy's career and recovery in this 1959 card dubbed Symbol of Courage. Over the years, the stature of this card has grown along with Campy's legend, and today it will set you back another $200 in PSA 7. 1959 Topps Harmon Killebrew, number 515. Killer was sort of in a funny position heading into 1959. Like others on this list, he had yet to break out. But at just 22 entering the season, he had already spent parts of 5 years in the major leagues, with just 11 home runs and a lifetime .224 batting average to show for it. At the same time, collectors were pulling his Fire Alarm Red 1959 Topps card from wax pack wrappers that summer, though, Killebrew was hitting the cover off baseballs to the tune of 42 home runs and a slash line of 242, 354, 516. He didn't stop mashing for another 16 years and eventually landed in Cooperstown. Given all that, the $185 price tag for a PSA 7 copy of the Topps card from this breakout season seems downright reasonable. 1959 Topps Stan Musial, number 150. Heading into 1959, Stan Musial was already 38 years old and had more than 3,100 hits to his name, with nearly 400 home runs and a .340 batting average. A Hall of Fame lock, in other words. He kept going, though, for another 5 years and continued to produce pretty much all along the way for the St. Louis Cardinals. In the process, Musial's forever cemented his card as collector favorites, and this one falls right in line at about $165 for PSA 7 specimens. Like our video? Then like our videos and subscribe to our channel. waxpackgods.com